Well, this is my update on travel for unvaccinated people as of the 27th of September 2022. Unfortunately, we don't have news on the USA yet, so there are still restrictions on unvaccinated people to travel there. Hopefully not for too much longer though. We had announced today some good news from Canada. So this is from their government website. They will remove COVID-19 border and travel measures from the 1st of October. The website goes on to just go through some of the history there from the last 2.5 years. And this slide just confirms that there'll no longer be any need for proof of vaccination to enter the country, no testing, no quarantine or isolation, and they're also stopping the requirement for masks on public transport, including planes. So that's really good news for everyone in Canada and people who want to travel there. What else? We've got news from the Netherlands. So this was on the 17th of September. All restrictions on needing to be vaccinated to enter the country were lifted then, and that was from their government website. Then we also had good news from New Zealand. Now, I thought this was on the 26th, but this government website says on the 12th of September, vaccination was no longer needed to enter New Zealand. And it talks a little bit here about not needing to isolate, but testing if you have symptoms. But that doesn't seem to be checked by any government body in any official way. So that's the news from New Zealand. Then we have some news from Thailand. It says from the 1st of October, foreign visitors will no longer be required to show proof of being vaccinated. And even if you are infected, you won't need to quarantine. So that's really good news for Thailand, especially such a touristy country. I hope things pick up there for the tourist industry and people who work in it. Then this one was interesting, unvaccinated travel to Japan. So this was from last week. It was in the news on the 22nd of September. So this probably happened that day or the day before. Japan to restore visa-free travel from October 11th as COVID pandemic recedes. So the Prime Minister of Japan made this announcement in New York. And here we go, domestic travel discounts introduced at the same time. Similar to Thailand, I guess, huge drop-off in tourism in these Asian countries. All countries, I guess. So what was interesting is that this was announced in a speech in New York, and the Prime Minister said Japan will relax border control measures to be on par with the US from the 11th of September, spurring applause from the audience. So this would indicate that they know that the USA will be dropping restrictions on or before the 11th of October. Otherwise, if there are any restrictions on unvaccinated people entering, Japan wouldn't be on par with them. So I guess I'm taking that as an indication that things will be lifted in the USA on or before the 11th of October. Fingers crossed, we shall see. It can't last much longer than that. And just a look at some other countries. So Hong Kong and I think Singapore as well still have restrictions. That's why I've written no thank you. So they still have testing for unvaccinated people to enter the country. And it was like this in the summer as well. So no change since then. It's got down here, before boarding the plane, you'll need to provide a RAT, like a lateral flow test, 24 hours before. So all of that nonsense is still going on for Hong Kong. And from what I saw of Singapore, happening there as well. So no transiting. I think you can transit through unvaccinated, but I would double check that. Okay, so they're the main updates that I wanted to share with you. Still waiting on the USA, but it can't be that far away with the good news from Canada today and what the Japanese Prime Minister said. So I'll keep watching and I'll bring you the good news whenever it comes. Hang in there, everyone. I'm sure it's not long to go now. And thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.